Jesus is God. Jesus is Savior. He is the Savior of the world. He is my Savior, and He can be your Savior. He is your Savior. He is your Savior. Jesus is your Savior. But you refuse. You refuse to accept Him. Jesus is your Savior, but you refuse to accept Him. You have to accept Jesus as your Savior, your God and Savior. Jesus wants to save you, not condemn you. Jesus wants to save you and set you free from sin. Jesus is your only teacher. I am not your teacher. Your rabbi is not your teacher. Your pastor is not your teacher. Go in your own room. Close the door behind you and ask that Jesus open your eyes so that you may see. Ask that Jesus open your ear so that you may listen to Him. Ask that Jesus give you an understanding of His words in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You have to hear His gospel. You have to understand His words. You have to understand His words in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Jesus will give you an understanding of His words, His commandment. The only thing interesting in the Bible are the words of Jesus. That's it. That's it. His words in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Apply His words like a wise man. First of all, you have to love Jesus. Jesus is God. You have to love Him with all your heart, all your mind, 100% of your mind, and all your soul. And if you truly love Jesus, you need to love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus loves you, and He loves people. So you have to love your neighbor as yourself. You have to have love in your heart. Love in your heart. Jesus is full of unfailing love. Ask Him to give you a heart of flesh so that you also must have love in you. And forgive others. Forgive men the trespasses. Bless those who curse you. Do not curse people. Do not even curse them in your heart. And many words, Jesus will show you His words, His commandment in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Jesus promised you this, that if you keep His words, that He will reveal Himself to you. And when He does reveal Himself to you, He will set you free from sin once for all. And you will never walk in the darkness anymore if you follow Him. You have to follow Jesus to not walk in the darkness. Jesus will make you into His son, His daughter, a son of God, a daughter of God, who belong to the family forever by the grace of Jesus. Do not deny Jesus. Do not even try it. But you must remain in Him, and He will remain in you. And you also have to confess Jesus publicly to your friend, your parent, your cousin, and people. And Jesus will confess you before His holy angel. How amazing it is. How amazing it is. So, let's read a word from Jesus. In response, Jesus said, This voice was not for my benefit but for yours. Now judgment is upon this world. Now the prince of this world will be cast out. And I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all men to myself. He said this to indicate the kind of death he was going to die. Jesus can absolutely protect you from Satan, and he's going to draw you to himself, and Satan will have no power over you. Demon cannot have power over you. Evil spirit cannot have power over you. Darkness cannot have power over you. If you choose Jesus and stop trusting in people, if you choose to walk in the light, Jesus is the light. If you choose to follow the light, darkness will never touch you. Satan will never touch you. Evil spirit will never touch you. You will be safe in the wings of Jesus, under his wings. Evil will not touch you. Jesus will save you from every evil. Stop living for yourself. Give your life to Jesus. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Do not go far away from him. Do not even try to go far away from Jesus. Do not, or you will end up in darkness. Wherever Jesus goes, you need to follow him. And when he stops, you need to stop. Wherever Jesus goes, you must go. Jesus is your light. Jesus is your light. You have to follow him. You have to follow him. And you will find good pasture because you follow Jesus, who is your shepherd, your good shepherd. Do not look up for pastors. You have one shepherd, Jesus, one teacher, Jesus. Jesus commands us to love one another and serve each other. That's it. Jesus will teach you the truth. I don't need to explain to you anything. Jesus will teach you the truth. I don't need to explain to you anything. We have to serve each other and love one another. That's it. Jesus will be happy when we serve each other and love one another. That's it. And meet in his name, that will be enough for him. That's what he wants us to do. That's it. So go to Jesus. He will give you love. He will give you whatever you need. You don't need anything from any human being. You don't need anything from any human being. Jesus will provide for you. May Jesus give you understanding and peace. Amen.